Welcome back to the Frozen Forum podcast. This is episode 26. It is Wednesday. It is February 12th. Can you even believe we're halfway through February right now? Nathan, it's actually crazy. Nathan's still in Europe. I'm about to go join him. How's the weather over there? What do I got to pack?
Hey, in Poland it was cold, but now back here in France, it's been like 12 degrees. You can just bring your shorts. We're from Canada. Just bring your shorts, bring your flip-flops, tank top, you're good.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was like, it's been minus 11 here, and I've been walking out with like no jacket on. Then like 15 is going to be like beach weather, right? Like 100%.
Basically beach weather, and then we go to Lisbon when it's like, just go commando at that point.
Hey, at that point we're going swimming. Like,
yeah,
we'll be right there. Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. Nathan, listen, we could talk a lot about the Habs today. We lost 3 games. I don't really know if we want to do that. It's been rough. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch.
Yeah,
I did want to talk to you about prospects. And the reason I want to talk about prospects, there's a really good reason. Scott Wheeler, a writer for The Athletic, released his mid-season rankings of prospects that are not playing in the NHL right now. Guess where Ivan Demidov is in that ranking?
He better be first.
He's first.
Yeah, like
first.
He's far
We have
away.
A number 1 ranked prospect. This is talking about like people who've been drafted since like in the last 5 years, whatever. He's number 1.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He's been putting up unreal numbers in the K with minimal ice time. Like, how could you not give it to him? I've also heard a lot of good things of Owen Beck recently, too. So
Owen Beck's looking good. I think he's officially graduated, though, for the purpose of that ranking. I could be wrong. Listen, like, we talked last week about how the Habs had to come into this weekend, had to win games, at least 2 out of 3, in order to, like, really be in that conversation for the playoffs. They lose all 3. Is that the sign that we're done? We're done with the competition this season. It's time to rebuild for one last year, get some assets back for your UFAs and move into next year.
I think so. Honestly, we've fallen down the rankings too much and other teams have been hot that we've been up against for those wildcard spots. At this point, we needed 4 points out of every 3 games. Now we need like 5 out of every 3 games to get into the playoff spot. And at that point, especially the way we played this last week, doesn't look possible. I think we just tank it up, get as good of a prospect as we can get this season, look even better for next season when we have everyone else coming.
Did you know that the Habs are currently in a 4-way tie for 7th last in the NHL?
Who are the other teams in it?
St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is that low? Wow.
Torts can only do so much, man. Like he got him close last year, but it takes a toll.
It does take a toll. It seems like his whole career has been taking a toll, just the way he talks with his team. But hey, it works sometimes. But yeah, I just think the Habs pack it up. Pack it up this season. Maybe let some of your guys in your prospect pool come up, play a few games. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, fair enough. It's one of those, it's really tough, right? I was thinking about it today because it really sucks turning on the TV right now, putting on a Habs game, knowing we're going to lose, like it's not even a thought. It's like just the way that they've been playing. They played really well in that Tampa game. I'd like to shout that one out. They did everything right. Had a few bad bounces, like can't do much. But last year, I had this feeling back in like November. So I guess this is what we call progress, right?
It is progress. You got to give them that. They were in a real playoff spot for the first time in a long time. So yes, progress. They blue balled us. We thought it was going to be our year, but
they looked really good when everything was coming together. I mean, who knows? To be honest, like again, I say we're in this big tie. We're 6 points behind Detroit. Like Detroit's second wildcard spot, right? That's not insurmountable. Right? It's going to be tough, obviously, especially tough when we start selling people because there's 0 chance that this team is the same team at the end of this Four Nations break as it is when it started. Yoel Armia is going to represent Team Finland. You watch what he's going to do on Team Finland. Team Finland is not going to make the final game. Before the final game, he's going to be traded. He's going to be on another team. Like, that's going to be it. It's going to be, hey, here, you got 4 days until your next NHL game. You're playing in, I don't even know who wants him, bro. Like, like the thing with Yoel Armia, bro, he was on waivers last year. Clears waivers. Like, people are really going to trade for this guy, apparently.
Hey, well, if they're gonna take him, they'll take him. But yeah, I mean, we had the trade discussion last week too. We're gonna see, hopefully Armia, hopefully Mike Matheson, but that's not gonna happen. But the big one was Jake Evans, and that one is definitely looking plausible there.
Got a question for you here. Noah Dobson. Do you know the guy? Right shot defenseman. The New York
He's on
Islanders.
the Islanders, yeah.
Yeah. He's apparently on the market. Right shot defenseman, 6'4", super strong defensively. How much would you give up? Like, other than Matheson, because I mean, I guess that I guess that's got to go back in the trade.
I don't know what he's worth, to be honest. I know um he is like a key piece of their D core, so they would want a lot for him, and I think it'd be too much for the Habs to give up. To
You
be
think
honest,
so?
Like, who would you give up?
I mean, like, we have a lot of picks, bro. I'm ready to give him a first, a second, a third, a fourth. Like, just keep on adding the picks until they say yes, you know? Like, hell, throw in a prospect there at that point, you know? Send him Logan Mayu. I don't care. You know, like Dobson, he put up 70 points in 79 games played last year. 25-year-old right shot defenseman. I mean, the reason that this is coming up for the Islanders is because he's going to get paid a lot of money. Like his contract is going to be valued at like 11 something million dollars, right? Probably. Like that's the caliber of defenseman we're talking about, right? And so, like, I guess the question for you, like, this is the kind of guy that we don't have in our organization. We don't have a 25-year-old right shot defenseman. Like,
we don't have him, but the bigger question here is, can we really afford him after we get Mikko Rantanen and pay him like $14 million a year?
Hey, the cap's going up, man. The cap's going up.
Yeah.
You realistically, the only, like, it's really easy to fit all of these people under our roster, you know? Like,
really easy.
Like, real easy. You know all you have to do? You have to get rid of Gallagher. You have to get rid of Matheson. And basically there's a boatload of money there. You know what I mean? Like there's all the money.
Gallagher's never leaving Montreal. But Matheson, I like that idea.
Gallagher might have to. Like if you want to make it fit, like, Gallagher is not the long term. It sounds terrible because we love Brendan Gallagher. He's a heart and soul. This guy, I would like to say, Brendan Gallagher, shout out Brendan Gallagher. He's my first star of the week. This guy is like, I don't know how he still has spirit left. You know, like, he's gotten so many broken bones courtesy of Shea Weber. He has got so many injuries. He's got so many whatever. This guy still out there skating, scoring goals, scores 2 goals in that one game. I don't even know what game it was. I kind of tuned out the games after we were losing. I just know he scored because I was like, wow, Brendan Gallagher scored. Wow, Brendan Gallagher scored again. Did you know the guy has, like, what is it? Where is he? He's third in scoring on our team. He's got
Wow. And then ahead of him is Line. Not even Line.
Suzuki and Caulfield, man.
The dynamic duo, the untouchable duo.
This is what I will say, okay? I think there are two factors to why the Montreal Canadiens have dropped off the cliff that they've dropped off on, okay? Number one, people like Brendan Gallagher are not getting rewarded. Brendan Gallagher has 14 goals this season. That's a lot of goals, right? That's on pace for 25, right? For the position that he plays, that's a lot of goals. This guy should be on the first power play unit. He should be right in front of the net. Why? Because that's what he's good at. Reason number two is, reason number one is all of the coaching decisions, right? So along with number one is the choice to put Slavkovsky in front of the net, where I don't understand why he's there. Like I have zero idea. Like, they put him there. You know what the thinking is? They went, wow, big guy stand in front of net, goalie no see. Like, that's what they did.
Too bad the
Slavkovsky's
goalies are
never.
big.
I'm sorry?
Too bad all the goalies are bigger.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, even if their goalie isn't bigger, the goalie's looking around him. Slavkovsky's not, like, the kind of guy to understand how to screen a goaltender properly, right? The only things that Slavkovsky's done well from that position is move out of in front of the goalie to open up a possibility for him to shoot, right? Last year, Slavkovsky ended the year with so many goals, so many assists, right? He had 20 goals. This guy was on the right dot on the power play. Do you remember those one-timers he was taking?
Yes, I remember those. Oh, no. reverse OV looking one-timers.
But it was beautiful, right? It was beautiful. It was like, whatever. Caulfield and Patrick Laine, same player, by the way, like basically the same on the power play. Put them on different units. Like, why are the two on the same unit? You get rid of so many scoring threats. It's actually ridiculous. The coaching has been bad. I don't understand why we don't take timeouts. I don't understand why we don't challenge a call every once in a while, even if we know we're going to lose. Like, Marty St. Louis has done a very bad job, in my opinion, of slowing down the game when the game gets out of control. Right? It's happened in a lot of games this season. You know, the other team will score 2 goals in 30 seconds, and he sends out the group again, and there's another goal. Like 2 minutes later, you know, it's like 3-0. There you go. There's a game. Bye-bye. Right? It's like he needs to be better at slowing down the game. He also has to put the right people on the ice. If you're going to bench Patrick Laine, if you're going to put him on the third line, why is he still on the first power play unit?
He's not sending a consistent message, is what you're saying.
I get it. And more than but again, Brendan Gallagher is literally the best player the Montreal Canadiens have had in the last 20 years to play in front of the net.
He's the shit deserver.
Do you remember the tips he would get? Do you remember the all kind of, this guy is so well practiced. And if you're going to try to tell me that Uri Slafkovsky is going to his whole career play in front of the net on a power play, that's the biggest waste of a first overall pick I've ever seen.
Yeah,
especially when he has the shot, bro. He has the shot. If he didn't have a shot, I'd be like, what? Yeah, whatever, fine. The guy was rifling these shots.
He also doesn't need the one-timer too. He can also risk this thing. It's a bullet.
And he can pass. And he can pass. And there's so many different options. I don't understand it. But the second reason has been reffing. Look, you know what? We as fans, obviously, we're biased in looking at these calls. The reffing has been ridiculous. It's just been flat out. The best part of that trip that we went out west. We went to California. We had 3 games. The best part of that trip was that Craig Button from TSN was calling those games. He was the color commentator on those games. Craig Button, at least 7 times, showed exact moments where there should have been a call against the team the Montreal Canadiens were playing. And look, sorry, go.
I was going to say the calls just weren't happening because of what? Like, what were
they just don't happen, bro. I don't understand why they don't. There's cross checks, there's trips, there's high sticks. Like one of our guys got high sticked in the face. In that Kings game, I'd like to say Lane Hudson has a bruise on his eye because the guy got cross checked in his face. And that play leads to the LA Kings going up 5-3. Like I don't understand. And the thing that people don't understand as well about non-calls, it's not about the power play. Look, our power play has been god-awful because we got the wrong people on it. But what a power play does is it changes the swing of the games. It changes the tempo. It changes the when the players are getting on the ice. When you have a bunch of calls going against us and none coming for us, especially at the beginning of games, you've got guys like Cole Caulfield, like Patrick Laine, who just aren't hitting the ice. They're getting a one shift at the beginning of the game, then they're waiting 7 minutes and getting another shift 7 minutes later. It's like when you don't get into that rhythm, you can't expect these people to actually get into the whole flow of the game. That's what calling things does. It hasn't happened. It's been awful. The NHL should be ashamed of itself. That's all I'm going to say about the Montreal Canadiens today.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't even have a top 3 heading into this week. I mean, we had high expectations, hopefully, heading into this weekend. Couldn't get a point. I am going to step aside for the 3 stars this week. I don't know if you want to take it up, but
listen, I want Gallagher as that first one. I really like the way he's been playing the game of hockey. I don't even think I have other 2. It's been it's been a rough stretch, you know. I mean, Slafkovsky, you know, we got to talk about Slafkovsky at some point too, right? Because other than just on the power play, this guy's been like absent for like half the season.
Has Laine been doing much either? Like these past.
Laine's been tough. But Laine has a good excuse. To be honest, people online are sometimes smart and sometimes not very smart because they've realized that Patrick Laine has an excuse, right? He didn't play hockey for basically 2 years, right? He's been going through a lot of things mentally. He's lost a little bit of confidence in the last few games. Okay, fine. But then they turn on Slafkovsky and they say, hey, why is this 20-year-old kid who's barely played in the NHL, who's trying to figure out how to be a power forward in the NHL, not producing and not doing all the things power forwards are supposed to be doing? It's like, did you know that Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen, when they were 20 years old, they scored a combined 90 points. That's 45 each. Guess what Slavkovsky's on pace for this year? 45 points. So it's like we need to chill with this guy. This guy's trying to figure out how to be a power forward, which is easily the hardest thing to play. I don't know, the hardest trait that you can teach in the NHL. And he's 20. I think we got to chill. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah, gotta cut him some slack. We also need our all-star defenseman. Hopefully start playing defense. Mike Matheson.
Right. That all-star. Yeah.
Yeah. Our all-star defenseman. Not
Yeah.
too hot from the clips I saw online this week. He's I don't know. If he has trade value, leverage it now while we can. Let's just get this thing on the road. Get Matheson for Dobson and a pick or two.
A pick or two coming to us, right? Because Matheson's obviously the better defenseman there.
He's by far and away the better defenseman there.
Yeah. Listen, I want to pivot. I want to go to the Frozen Forum Flash because I have a special one for you today, Nathan. I've cultivated 10 questions that all revolve around the Four Nations face-off that we're about to witness. First game is tonight. For all people who are watching, Canada has already beaten Sweden by some unknown number of goals. I got 10 questions for you. You ready?
Yeah, what time is the game, by the way?
8 o'clock Eastern, I think. Maybe 6 o'clock Eastern.
I will not be able to watch.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Eastern. I mean, if you want to stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning, you can watch the game. But
Yeah.
I think
Might have
school's
to just-
important too, right?
A little bit. Maybe I'll just have to set an early alarm.
True. I guess you could do it that way. Yeah. Be like one of those hyper-productive people. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day. Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg schedule.
Yeah.
It's 4 a.m. and I'm dialed watching hockey.
Yeah, I got up at the right time, but for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, no. Listen, okay, let's go into the Frozen Forum Flash, Nathan. We have 10 questions for you, 5 that revolve around the Montreal Canadiens, 5 on the rest of the NHL. All of them this week cover the Four Nations face-off. Are you ready? Let's get right into it. Question number 1 for you. When Kent Hughes became general manager of the Montreal Canadiens, did you ever expect our Bell Center home team first line to be Reinhart, McDavid, and Marner?
This team Canada, is going to incinerate the Americans, the Swedish, and the Finnish. The only thing I'm worried about, even with lines Crosby on our second line, that just tells you how disgusting this team is. The one thing I am worried about is the goaltending. I know our boy Samuel Montembeault is on there, but it's also Jordan Binnington and Aiden Hill. They have not looked hot as of recently. None of them have looked hot recently. But hopefully they'll piece it all together. The boys will get it going. I have a lot of faith in this team.
I like it. Well, let's go to question 2 because you're already getting ahead of me somehow. You don't even know the questions. I don't. For all of those watching, I don't tell Nathan the questions before this. We go straight off the book. He's already getting ahead of me. Question number 2 for you. Jordan Binnington is starting in Canada tonight. Assuming that all 3 goaltenders get a shot within these first 3 games, will Samuel Montembeault be the starter in the final game?
So Canada plays Sweden tonight. I think Sweden has the weakest team of them all. So I think Binnington will look really good just because the level of won't be as competitive as Finland and the United States. That being said, Montembeault will look better than Binnington if he plays against Finland. Against the United States, not so much. I have a feeling it'll be the goalie who plays for the Finnish game or the Sweden game.
I like the thought. I haven't actually thought about it from that perspective, but that's a good one. I mean, obviously, Canada could just put Binnington in net for all of them, and then we might not even see Montembeault, which would be a crime as a side note, because we're talking about,
Binnington
the
also
one
has
Montreal Canadian player, bro. The one Montreal Canadian player, they're playing in the Bell Center in Montreal. If there's a goalie to put in that Canada-US game, it's Montembeault. That stadium would be freaking ridiculous.
It'd be buzzing. Also, Binnington has an .879 save percentage.
Ouch.
I think this season. So
Did you know, of the 3, did you know Samuel Montembeault is the only goaltender that has a positive goal saved above expected?
And he is the best in the league, right? Or he did?
I mean, who was at one point? I mean, right now it's Hellebuck, but obviously.
Yeah.
Because let's go to question 3. We're getting these ones are fast. 3, 4, and 5, nice and fast. Okay. I want you to pretend we're not talking about Frozen, the Frozen, whatever this thing is called. No, the Four Nations. Would you trade 1 for 1? Ready? Who do you want? Suzuki or Sam Bennett? Suzuki's got 52 points. Bennett has 35 points. Go.
Suzuki.
Okay. Question number 4. Cole Caulfield, 49 points. Chris Kreider, 20 points.
Cole Caulfield.
Question number 5. Lane Hudson, 41 points. Brock Faber, 22 points.
Lane Hudson.
Why are the 3 people that you did not select not playing, or playing in the Four Nations face-off, and none of the 3 that you picked, because they've had better seasons, why are all 3 of them not in this tournament?
Yeah, I know. The selection was a little bit iffy. Brock Faber also somehow got the luckiest seat in the Team Canada dressing room and is right between Faber's Canadian, right?
U.S.
Who's the guy that said, okay, we're cutting this?
I ain't cutting this. Which seat are you talking about? Sitting between who?
McDavid and Crosby.
It wasn't. They didn't put McKinnon between them?
No, I forget who it is. It was Seth Jarvis. It's Seth Jarvis.
Seth Jarvis.
Yeah. But yeah, all 3 of those guys, not sure how they are on it. Even if it wasn't Suzuki, Caulfield, or Hudson, I know there are other players that also could have gotten those spots. So, politics, insider trading stuff going on, say what you will.
The biggest thing for me, Nathan, you're playing this freaking tournament in the Bell Center.
It would be just far more entertaining with actual Habs. Long time Habs that you know will be there for a long time.
Long time. And our all-star caliber players. I like it. Let's go question number 6. We're talking about the rest of the tournament now. If hockey really is Canada's sport, why are only 25% of the players in Four Nations from Canada? Sorry. The real question, though, here is, will Team Canada win the tournament?
Okay, here's the order of the winners of this damn tournament. Number 1, Team C, represent. We're in the Bell Center. We got to get it done. Wait, is the final game happening in Boston?
Yes.
Team Canada, still getting it done. Doesn't matter where it is. We're getting that W. Second place, it's going to be the Americans. The Americans are going to lose to the Canadiens once again. It's going to be like Vancouver 2010, except it's going to be in Boston. You already know. I already have this in my head. It's going to be like some ridiculous passing play. McKinnon flying down the ice with that speed. Drop pass to Crosby. Crosby between the legs to McDavid. Bink, bar down, dub, throw the gloves. We're going crazy. So Canada, US, and then the bottom 2 will be Finland and Sweden at the bottom.
In overtime or in regulation?
No, it's going to be one of those last minute regulation type things.
Okay, so no overtime. Interesting. We'll go to question number 7 for you. So I wanted to have a little fun with question 6. Question number 7: did Canada bring the wrong goalies? We talked a little bit about this before, but when we look at people like Logan Thompson, and there were 2 others that everybody was mentioning who have like 930 something save percentages since they didn't make the team. Did we bring the wrong ones, or and hear me out, are the stats not a great indicator of which goalies are actually best, because you have people like Binnington and Montembeault who are playing on teams that have not been very good defensively.
Yeah, the stats are one thing, but another thing as well, I think you got to give it to goaltenders that have a bunch of experience, which is why Binnington has that spot. And same for even Aiden Hill. Montembeault doesn't have that experience, but I mean, he just plays with so much composure, and it's in Montreal. And yeah, we all know St. Louis fell off a cliff, and Binnington has not had much support, and same for Montreal this past few weeks. So that's it.
I like it. Let's go to question 8. This one we're going to clip for sure, because we're going to go back to this after this tournament. How many goals between the 4 games that they're going to play will the Canada first power play unit score? For reference, that unit is Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhart, McDavid, Makar.
It honestly is fully dependent on how many power plays we get, because they're getting a goal on every power play.
Okay, so if N is the number of power plays, what is the number of goals that they score?
Somehow N+1. They're getting, they're scoring. If there's 10 power plays, they're getting 10 goals. If there's 100 power plays, they're getting 100 goals. That sounds like a god line. I really wish I could watch this game tonight, but I'm going to watch the full replay tomorrow. At school? Maybe in class? No, not in class, because I got to pay attention to class. Yeah, that's just hockey heaven right there. That's great.
Like, isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
Like, you have to think too. If Canada at any point, like say we're playing the US, is down a goal, and there's a few minutes left of the game, like that's the first 5. Like, who are you adding to that as your 6th? for a 6-on-5.
Already Makar and McKinnon alone. Like, you already have natural chemistry there. Who do you add? Like, honestly, just throw in the other Nova Scotia boy. Just throw Brad Marchand in.
Yeah, put him in front of the net. I like it. I don't mind that. But I mean, you could put Braden Point. You could put. I don't even know. At that point, you could put on a goalie. It wouldn't matter. Like, I think it's pretty good. We'll go to question 9 though. We can talk a little bit more about this later. But question 9: will there be in this tournament a blowout win? Talking 3 goals or more. And if so, which game will it be?
The Swedes are getting blown out. Like, the
Tonight?
Swedes are getting. Yeah, they're getting blown out by Canada and they're getting blown out by the US. Like, I just don't. They're just not on the same level as the other teams. They don't have the same star power. Who's the Swedish goaltender? I don't even know.
That's a great question.
He asked me that 3 years ago. It was Henrik Lundqvist, but now I have no idea.
Ersson from Philly, Gustafsson from Minnesota, Allmark from Ottawa.
They have respectable goalies, but I don't trust that decor.
You don't trust Victor Hedman?
I don't trust Victor Hedman. He's heading into his
Erik
retirement.
Karlsson?
No, I don't trust Erik Karlsson. If you asked me that same question 5 years ago, Sweden would be a threat. They have Henrik Lundqvist between the pipes. They have a better Erik Karlsson. They have a better Victor Hedman. They have
lose to Carey Price, but yeah, I understand your point.
Exactly.
Yeah, touche. Let's go to question 10. Was Auston Matthews the right decision for captain of Team USA?
See, I saw that when it came out too, and I was like, how is he the captain of this team? And then I looked at the rest of the roster. I don't know who I would put as captain. I really don't. Like, do you have someone in mind better than Auston Matthews? Like, Matthews looks like the most skilled player on the team in terms of goal scoring.
I wonder, like, for these kinds of things, right, you need leadership. I've never seen leadership from Auston Matthews. I don't know how he actually is within the locker room in Toronto, but you'd think if he had any good sense of leadership, they would have beat us back in 2021. I wonder if you don't just put, like, Matthew Tkachuk and, like, have that heart and soul, have that, like gritty, like, hey, guys, we just got to go, we got to get it. Like, I don't know. I do agree with you, though. There isn't, like, a... wow, this is obviously the captain. It's not like Canada. Like Canada, I swear every player on this team is the captain of a team. Like it's actually crazy.
I'm thinking, is Quinn Hughes still playing or no? I'd say like Quinn Hughes would be the captain. Other than that, I don't think Jack's a captain. I was thinking Brady for a second, but I think he's not mature enough to be a captain. I'd say Quinn or Matthews.
Yeah, that's actually fair. Maybe Adam Fox. Could we throw in Adam Fox there? No? All right. That concludes our Frozen Forum Flash. There's my 10 questions. I hope you enjoyed my 10 questions, Nathan.
That was good. I liked it. I liked the spin-off on the for the Four Nations edition. Maybe we should do a flash for your friend when he comes on the next episode.
I was thinking about it. Like, for everybody watching, we got a friend of mine coming on for the podcast for next week. We're going to record tonight because, being in Europe makes it very difficult to organize this kind of stuff. You should come up with 5 questions, and I'll come up with 5 questions, and we can. Yeah, we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
This could be about anything.
Fan, right?
He's a Kings fan.
Okay, sounds good.
Although he used to be a Sabres fan. I don't know if he still is. I'm pretty sure all Sabres fans eventually become fans of other teams, just out of...
Naturally.
Naturally.
It's like
a natural progression,
Yeah, exactly. It's like the life cycle of a Buffalo fan in general.
Look, before we get into anything more hockey...
Shout out Josh Allen.
You watched the Super Bowl.
Yes, I watched the Super Bowl in Poland. I don't know how many of you have done that before. But let me tell you, it was quite an experience. Nobody knew what was going on except me.
I can only imagine Nick there going, oh, they scored.
Yeah. No, Nick was following along. It was me and Nick, and then nobody else knew what was happening. Rugby? Is that rugby?
What did you think about the game? Obviously, was very happy with the outcome, but like...
I mean, that game just came down to Mahomes making 2 poor decisions. That was the entire game. The entire game was decided off of that. Made one throw on a 3rd down, picked off by Cooper DeJean, pick 6. The other pick, I forget. I think it was like 2nd down. He was under pressure. Should have just done his normal calm throw at the sideline. Didn't do that. led to them getting another touchdown, and that's what sealed the game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Also, that the halftime show, it didn't look that great. Like he had not like us. It's a banger. Don't get me wrong, love that song. But other than that, like the crowd looked dead. They didn't look into it. I saw videos in the stadium, looked like crap. Another YouTuber I saw today, his name's Kai Sinat. Shout out Kai. He posted a clip today of the NFL just obviously putting in crowd sound effects into the stream on TV when he said he was there and there was absolutely no noise for a particular song. I don't know. I think they got to pick artists and not rappers because it's kind of hard to have rappers hype up an entire stadium unless you're Eminem.
I think rappers, it's fine. The genre of rap is great. I think the real problem, I was one of the guys I follow a lot is Daniel Negreanu, who plays poker, obviously. But like his take on this was really good, right? He's a huge fan of rap, way more than I am. And his whole thing was like, it's the Super Bowl. There were no catchy choruses. There were no like things people want to sing along to. It was just rap, which is great. Like if you love rap, if you love Kendrick, you got Kendrick. Like that's who Kendrick is. But like a Super Bowl is supposed to be this big thing. You know, it's supposed to be like, to your point, Eminem came out whatever 3 years ago, whatever, and he's got these songs that everybody knows the chorus of. You know, you've got like even when the Red Hot Chili Peppers played it. You know, like you've got songs there that people are like super into. Like I just like I'm fine with rap. I just like you need something that people like you need big things. You know, not just the same throughout the whole thing. It has to build to something. You have to like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was, and some of his raps were just like a slower, melodic, like kind of flowy rap. Which, hey, listening to that on Spotify in the gym, don't get me wrong, that fires you up. But in a big stadium, it just doesn't work. I don't know if you saw, but in the NFC, one of the championship games, it was one of the games for the Lions. They had Jello come out there and play Tweaker. Tweaker, banger. I don't know if you've ever heard Tweaker. Never heard Tweaker. For those of you who know, shout out G3. Absolute banger. I liked it because I know the song, but if you don't know the song, you don't like that type of rap because it's more of like a early 2000s type beat. You're not gonna vibe to it, and yeah, similar.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit more about the game though itself. I mean, obviously Tom Brady was in the stadium. That means that Mahomes is 0-3 when Tom Brady is in the stadium for a playoff game. 0-2 against him, right? And now fumbles the bag in this attempt for a three-peat. I wanted to talk to you about that attempt though, because something that Tom was saying really like stuck out to me in like the pregame. I don't know if you guys got to listen to the pregame at all. Tom was explaining that like when he was on the Buccaneers and they won the Super Bowl, they beat Mahomes, right? He was saying like the 2 weeks before that, he watched so much film. He knew every single play that Kansas City had. And it was to the point where he could walk up into the huddle, look up, see what the defense was doing, know exactly what the defense was going to do, run through his head and say, okay, if I play the play that I just called, all of my guys are going to be blocked. So, hey, you cut this way instead so that you'll be open. And then he would know. And that's where, you know, you get a 15-yard pass, go out off the sidelines, and everybody was like, oh, it's just a routine play. It's like, no, like he knew exactly what the defense was doing. He put his player where he needed to be, and then he threw the ball. That level of preparation is hard. Okay? The point I wanted to make here to you is, like, do you think that the reason Patrick Mahomes looks so bad in this game is that after winning twice in a row, you just get this false confidence around you that you just think you don't need to do a lot of that stuff anymore? Like, do you think that's what it is? Or was it just Philadelphia is just a crack team and that's it?
No, I mean I've watched Patrick Mahomes interviews before. He is always he's the biggest football nerd in the NFL currently, from what I hear from other players on other teams, his own teammates. He admits to himself too. He watches a lot of film. I think what surprised everyone about that Eagles defense was how aggressive they were getting to him. He didn't have any time to make any plays. Like,
but he's got to read that, you know. Like I don't know. Like you've got to understand what the defense is doing to you, and you have to be able to call plays and change plays in order to accommodate that. Like he didn't do that.
Yeah, like in that type of scenario, you'd have to use your tight end more. You have to use Travis Kelce more. And Kelsey also didn't look great. He looked a little bit slow. I saw a few plays where he kind of looked like he just wasn't giving it his all. Didn't look like he was trying. So that obviously impacts it as well. And they're down, so they don't want to get these little chunk plays. They want to get huge yardage, which leads to picks and a pick six.
Look, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a fantastic game played. We here in the rest of the world who aren't actually Eagles fans are just really hoping that the stock market doesn't crash again, because when Philadelphia wins anything in sports, bad things happen the year after. So I don't know if you saw this stat, but like, so the Philadelphia Athletics used to be a baseball team back in the day. I think they won right before the Great Depression. I think they won right before the Second World War started. I think they won right before like another financial crash. The last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl back in 2018. 2018 was like the worst year in the stock market since 2008. Like another Philadelphia team won right before '02, and that was right like the dot-com bubble. Like it's bad. Like I don't know. I keep seeing these memes, but it's like correlation, yes. Causation, probably not. But like maybe.
Might be. Well,
I guess we'll see, right?
call it the Eagle curse. Call it the Donald Trump insane policies. We'll call it the Philly turd. We'll call it
Fair
for now.
enough. Fair enough. I don't know if you've been looking at all of this stuff Elon's been doing with Doge and like the stuff they're uncovering with USAID, like that program that whatever. I don't want to get into politics. The reason I say it is because like they've been talking about all of these like this money that's been sent to different teams. My favorite tweet from the last week was somebody going, "Man, I didn't realize the Kansas City Chiefs were getting funded by USAID. That must have been why they crashed, right? Because they stopped funding." I saw another one though. We talked about refs last week. That was like somebody interviewing like a fake ref. And he's like, "Oh, so what happened in the game?" He's like, "Well, they didn't pay." I'm like, huh? Well, they usually pay. They didn't pay. Like, we didn't get our check. The check bounced.
Check bounce. They don't get the yards. They don't get the extra interfering.
I mean, realistically, Philadelphia did a really good job in those first two quarters, not creating an opportunity for a flag. There was nothing even on the edge. You can't do much. Like the refs can only do so much.
The better team won, and that's all I am thankful for. Another stat I saw that was pretty interesting. The sports books, there was $1.8 billion bet on the Super Bowl this year. I don't know if it's America, the world, but there was $1.8 million. Yeah, $1.8 billion. 900 million was lost from bettors because Saquon Barkley did not get a touchdown and did not have a lot of rushing yards or receiving yards.
I did see this. I did see this.
100 million. What should have been a lock did not happen.
I love it when people tell me in sports betting. Like I've got so many friends who will be like, "Oh man, you got to bet on this tonight. It's a UFC fight. It's a lock. The guy's a lock. They're like, "Oh, this guy in this football, it's a lock. There's no locks. There's no locks." More than that, the thing I don't understand sometimes with bettors is like you have to understand that the Super Bowl is a different game. Like you think your all-star, quarterback is going to do great things. You think your all-star receiver is going to do great things. It's like, yeah, but the defense is going to be way more heavily favoring defending those people. What do you think about that It's Cooper Kupp, right? The pick six?
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean, that's what it is. Who's Cooper Kupp? Who am I thinking about?
He's on the Rams.
Wrong guy. Cooper DeJean, there you go. Can you tell I don't watch football very much?
Cooper DeJean's pick six, though. I think I sent you this meme, but it was the week after NFL gets rid of the end racism quotes in the end zones. Cooper DeJean, the DEI hire of the Philadelphia Eagles, gets a pick six on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That was his first touchdown. His first touchdown is in the Super Bowl, and it was his birthday. That's
what a crazy day, eh?
Pretty crazy.
Man. Crazy
game.
Look at how bad the Habs are. We're totally fine talking about football for 20 minutes.
Look, Montreal Canadiens, Kent Hughes, it is okay. Even though you blue balled us, it is okay. We will accept it. A tank, there is nothing wrong with the tank at this point. We'd like to see some of the new prospects get a chance to play if we are going to tank. You gotta at least pretend like you care for the next month or two. for the next month.
Look, I mean, I have a real question, Nathan. Like, when you talk about trading Jake Evans is probably the big name out of that UFA group, right? Talk about trading David Savard. Talk about trading Yoel Armia. Are, like, if we traded those people and we bring up prospects from our system, are we really any worse of a team?
Any worse or any better?
Any worse? Like, I don't think that Yoel Armia brings so much value to the team that our best prospect, let's say we bring up, Florian Jacki, for example, who's been lighting it up in the minors. Like, if we bring him up, if we bring Luke Tuck up, if we bring, whoever, like, I don't think these are big differences. Like, we're not, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's different if I don't know, if you're like the New York Islanders and you sell Bo Horvat, right? That's a big part of your team. Or you sell Brock Nelson, a big part of your team.
Look, getting rid of David Savard, absolutely not. Yoel Armia, absolutely not. Jake Evans, I think, would have an impact.
I look at Owen Beck, bro. Owen Beck is doing what Jake Evans was doing 2 years ago. And that's when Jake Evans was 24 and Owen Beck's 20 something, 21. Right? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't see the gaps.
It'd be tight like that. It would be tight.
I think the big one is if Matheson leaves and we don't have a defenseman coming in from anywhere else, that one's close. That one, I don't know.
Matheson?
I say it, and it's because I don't know if there's any other defenseman on our team who can actually absorb the minutes that he plays, right? Like unless David Reinbacher is completely healthy, ready to go, and then your top pairings are, I mean, Gooley's out. The thing is, like, Gooley's out, right? If Gooley was in, I'd say, yeah, Matheson can be out, and we have enough people to distribute the minutes. Gooley's out. I don't know if we have enough defensive depth.
So I don't think that they're not going to get rid of Matheson anyway. So I don't think that's a question.
Like, I don't see us getting worse, Like, I think it's, if anything, to be honest, I wonder if it can't be a spark. Like, I wonder if we trade Jake Evans, trade Yoel Armia, trade David Savard, trade Michael Pezzetta, for example, bring up some guys from the minors. I wonder if we don't go on a run.
Look, I do not want to go on a run at this point. Unless we go on some ridiculous 20-game undefeated streak, I don't want to run, because last thing I want is to have a bad pick in the draft this year, which is looking stacked, and we miss out because we tried to go on a run and we miss out by 1 point or some ridiculous.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, I guess, right? Is like, from a management perspective, if your goal right now is to get the best pick possible, which I don't necessarily think is how Ken Hughes thinks. Like, I think Ken Hughes looks at it and says, look, if we pick 15th overall, we barely miss the playoffs. It's fine, because the competitiveness that we get in the locker room and all that kind of stuff is going to be better for our team long term than the marginal value between those picks. Like who do you actually have to trade, though, on our team that is tradable for us to, like, not go on a run, for sure?
Who do you not have to? Wait, what?
Like who do you have to trade off the Habs right now in order to, like, virtually guarantee that we will have a top 5 pick?
Get rid of. So you're saying that we tank that bad? I don't know.
Like I'm trying to say how you tank, because if you only sell the UFAs, I honestly believe we have the ability to go on a run. We might not. We might finish bottom of the league. Like, I don't know, but, like, we have that ability. We have, like, enough skill in the locker room. That's why I say, like, to me, it's Matheson. If you trade Matheson and you don't pick up another defenseman, I think it's done. Easy tank. Which is even another reason why you should trade Matheson, like, from our perspective.
I don't know, man. It's tough to say. I think we can talk more about it, though, in the next episode that we will be recording soon.
We can talk about it a little bit there. See what Carson thinks.
Yeah, we do need some more content for that episode, too.
Oh, it should be fine. Carson makes content. Don't worry. You'll have 1,000 clippable moments from that podcast.
Makes content? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
You'll see.
Okay.
And for all those watching, you'll see you next week on episode 27 of the Frozen Forum podcast. Is there anything else you want to talk about in this one?
Hey, Habs, if you're going to use this time, relax, go to Cancun, do whatever you want. But when we get back, if you win that game, go on a freaking run like we've never seen before. If you lose it, bring your prospects up, let them play, see what happens. Let them get acquainted to the NHL. At that point, it doesn't matter. We just want to see development into the big season, which is next season. Other than that, nothing really.
Like it. I like it. You excited for Frozen? For the not Frozen, the Four Nations? God, everything is in hockey. It's actually
I am, except for one part. The scheduling of this tournament was horrendous. They have one game per day. What are they doing? What are they doing? They could have included so many other teams in the NHL. They could have had a team,
Slovakia.
yeah, Team Slovakia, Team Czechia.
Team non-affiliated with Russia, but does originate from Russia.
Yeah, like they could have gotten creative with it, like what they did in the World Cup of Hockey a few years ago, like the U20 Europe team. That was exciting. That was very exciting.
Yeah, your U20 NA team, North America team.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said U20.
Sorry. Oh, I'm in Europe right now. I'm just has a little screws loose right now. But yeah, there could have been more
Yeah,
creativity. I think we could have had more teams. There could have been more games televised. I think the NHL could have done a better job.
I mean that's gonna be next year, right?
Yes, yeah, we will see.
As a
Time
side
will
note,
go.
I think I signed up. I haven't got an email yet, but like I signed up to get pre-sale tickets for the Olympics next year. If we get tickets to a gold medal game, you want to go to Turin or Milano or wherever they're playing?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. The Winter Olympics, where are they?
Italy.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm
Back
down.
to back February's in Europe.
I'll come back. I will fly back out here, no problem.
Cool.
All right, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have made it to this point in the episode, we appreciate it so much. We love you all. Make sure that you give us a like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that bell notification so you consistently get notified of our videos. We are almost at 70 subscribers. Will we hit 100? It'll be tight. It'll be tight if you guys will see our giveaway in this first season. You guys just got to keep hitting that subscribe button, and then maybe we will see it April. Who knows? March? That'd be incredible.
Shout
Time
out
will
to all
tell.
of the people as a side note that my mom has been telling to follow the podcast. I hope she wasn't too forward with that. My mom talks to people now on the street, apparently, that she'll see someone with a Habs jersey on. Oh, you should follow my son's podcast. It's like, okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Shout out Mrs. Nagy. Shout out Mr. Nagy. Shout out Mr. and Mrs. DaCosta as well. We love you.
Keep us going, eh? The
Yes,
driving force behind us.
absolutely. Make sure that you follow us on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Give us that 5-star review and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
I think you said this part, but yeah, you can say it again.
No, I didn't say this yet. And I'm forgetting one platform, Twitter. Make sure that you follow us all there. We love you all so much. We will talk to you again in an hour and a half, but for you guys, you will see it next week. So talk to you later. Au revoir et bonne soirée.